Hello, slow parenting family from across the globe. Thank you for joining us for another section on our podcast on the slow parenting program. My name is Richie Adewusi. We're still in season 7, and today we're taking another episode, another issue on why, well, another reason, factor, or if you like, that might get your children and young people around you uh, be tempted into using substances that could lead to addiction. Well, psychotropic substances that alter the way they think, the reason, they feel, they behave, and also then lead to addiction. Today, we are looking at the reason around stress. What's the opposite of stress? If you are not stressed, you cannot relax, you can feel good. So it's that other temptation is the reason for which your children might be tempted into using substance, which would be to feel relaxed. But then relaxation from that's gotten, if you like, highs that gotten from drug use, substance use, is temporary. They don't last. For them to last, there's got to be continued usage, maybe increased dosages, and maybe going from one form, one level to other, one substance or the other. And once young people are fed with those rumors, leads, the people who feed them with such leads don't quit. They'll be the ones around to tell them what's new. Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take it from the top. Yes, today we're talking about the temptation, or if you like, the reason stress caused by so many things around them: school-related issues, educational issues, economic, okay, the home environment. A whole lot of things could lead children to be, and young people to feel stressed and to feel, for something to ease the stress, something to help them to relax. So there's always some news out there, or if you use this, this would help you to feel better. This particular one, if you get to use it, you'll be okay. It's what it is, rumor. But then if you are not there, if you're not available, if the ears that are, that are available to them are the ears of those who, yes, are merchants, okay? Merchants of, if you like, destruction, merchants of addiction. Usually, it doesn't look like that at the beginning. The children didn't set out to say, oh, I want to be bad. That's why I want to use drugs. I want to use something. Well, they didn't even see them as drugs. It's like, this is what everybody is doing. Why? You feel stressed? Take this, you feel relaxed. We've established on this program, on this season, this series, that children, substances are usually first time they're offered for free. And it's deliberate by those who are offering it. They want the recipients to become dependent, so they will offer them for free initially. So if there are issues for which your children and young people around you feel stressed, and there are many of such issues, they are endless. The economic, educational, relationship issues, they feel stressed. They're looking for how to relieve the stress, the tension. And someone says, oh, look, if you take this, you'll feel better. When you feel relaxed, you feel good. Especially if they have found succor from outside the home, maybe because of the situation at home, the tension at home, the criticisms at home, either over their performances in school or performances in their vocational uh, choices. If the home is not supportive of, you know, their cravings, their endeavors, their pursuits, their efforts, um, and there are some people out there who are more welcoming, who seem more reasonable, who seem more attentive to their needs. They'll necessarily gravitate towards those people and away from home. If they start spending lesser and lesser time at home and more time with such people. So it stands to reason, so many of these other reasons we've established in the past, it stands to reason that when it's not, look, well, you've been complaining about this since you're here now. Don't worry, just take this, to make you feel relaxed. You feel good after it. A doorway is opened. Why? Because there were issues at home. Yeah, stress will come, situations would arise, relationship issues would crop up now and then. But if you build and sustain the relationship, the communication relationship with your children, and you are open with them, even when there are issues, don't try to sweep them under the carpet. They see, your children see, they hear. Even the ones you think they don't hear, they don't see. They see, they hear. It's not every child, it's not all children that confront, that respond like immediately. It's not. Individuals, whether adults or children, we have our personalities, we have our character types. There are those who say, Mom, Dad, what's going on? There are those who would see what's going on. They'll not be able to say anything. They'll probably recoil in their rooms and they'll dread going home from school, from church, from starting now, staying out. The relationship they would have, because there's nobody at home to. And by then, when that happens, if you're still not paying attention, by the time you notice anything is wrong, it might have been too late. Okay? So we are not changing our topic. We are not changing whatever we've said before. We're just saying to you, having a lively communication relationship with your children is still key to a whole lot of things, because having a lively communication relationship means you develop and sustain a two-way communication relationship. Two-way communication relationship, they ask you questions, you answer, you ask them questions, they answer questions about anything. How was school today? How are your friends today? Oh, my friend, oh no, it's my friend's birthday tomorrow. Which of your friends? That goes on, that goes on. You are involved in the life of your children. That way, you notice when they are not, forthcoming with telling you what's going on. Then you ask question, what's going on? You've been withdrawn in a few. I've noticed, well, you've not come out. You are not used to coming home this late. even when that child has an understanding that there's a penalty for coming home late. We discuss, to rebel, and just don't care, just to tell you, look, I don't like what's happening. They rebel, they do things, and part of that could be to take drugs. That was last episode that we did that. But this episode, yeah, it might not be the rebellion thing. It might just be they just want to feel relieved. And then you are not there for them to share their challenges with. You might even be the cause of the challenges. It might even be the cause of the stress. You are not happy with your school grades, and you are not engaging to say how it could get better or to find out what might have happened. They have friends outside who are not questioning them about anything. They just be here with us. And among those friends, there will be some that the reason why they mix with young people is they're merchants. For people who distribute substances, who sell substances. And like we said, the first dose of anything that your children or young people around you might get to use will be offered to them for free until they become dependent on those things. And then they'll say, okay, you want this? Okay, go on. No, I've given you how many times for free? Now you got to pay. And that leads to a whole lot of other misdemeanors and eventually maybe criminal activities of stealing, Hi guys on TikTok, please don't forget, hit my live. Please hit the like button on the live. Invite your friends over. We are talking about, the reason of feeling relaxed, stress, okay, as one reason why your children might decide to engage in trying out substances that might lead to abuse, stress from the home environment, stress from schoolwork, stress from relationship issues. So it could be stress from anything, but you are there, you know your children. You notice and see that something is not right, and you ask the questions. First, if you've developed a relationship, kind of relationship that you are the first person they come to when anything happens, you might not need to worry that even if you have done that, even if you have such a relationship, don't take it for granted. At some other times, some things will happen that they are too embarrassed to talk to you about. Not that they don't want to or they wouldn't want to. They just feel too ashamed, too embarrassed. They don't know how to face you. They begin to try to avoid you. And all those could create the stress for which they would want some relief. Avoiding you means they start to spend more time outside of the home. It might not be that the home environment is toxic, no. It might just be that something has happened outside. They got involved in one thing or the other outside that they know you wouldn't clap for them over. And they feel so embarrassed, so ashamed, so afraid to discuss with you. So they begin to isolate themselves either in their rooms or specific areas of your apartment or your home, or begin to come home late because they will spend time with their friends. And well, eventually they have to come home. So they come home late. I remember that, well, this was not about drugs or about, okay. I remember when we were children, primary school, those days. Of course, we knew the time we were supposed to be home when we go to play. I just want to use this, maybe those of you who were not born grown, that means you didn't drop from mass grown, grew up, that would have done one thing wrong at one point or the other that you needed to be reprimanded. You will get a feel of what I'm going to say now. Would I go to play football or just generally we're just with friends and go to pick some fruits or something, and we have stayed late and we have discovered, wow, it's late. As we walk home, as we walked home, then we will begin to tie elephant grass, the leaves of elephant grass, knot them up. I'll be saying something, let your mother not remember, let your father not remember. Oh, well, did it work? Maybe I would like in the comment section, you tell me if it worked for you, if you did that, if you were my generation, if you did that or not, or maybe some other thing young people do these days to when they've done something that they know they shouldn't do and they're trying to get their parents to forget and not be able to reprimand them. That's for us that we did. It wasn't take drugs or whatever. No, it was just that we went to play and we stayed out too late. So coming to this point in time, it might be the drug thing. Somebody has offered and he knows he shouldn't. He or she know, well, I shouldn't have done this. I should have taken this. He's feeling guilty. He's feeling embarrassed, feeling ashamed. He doesn't know how to. Those the telltale signs of those will be around your child or your children if you are observant enough. It will still then be up to you to brace yourself. If you are not the perfectionist and that you never did anything wrong, but we'll come to that. That's an entirely different episode. But then right there, I should say, babe, I can see what's going on. This is not you. What's going on? You've been coming home consistently late, and then you've been locking yourself up there. You are not out for meals. You don't play with your siblings. And what's going on? If you really have some, if you have had some good communication relationship, you might get a sub. You might get the child breaking down into crying, weeping. You still calm the child down. Just tell me, come on, don't worry. Tell me what it is. The child might eventually get to tell you. When I went somewhere and my friends gave me something and I took it. I didn't like it. I mean, I don't know how to tell you. I just feel some children would open up and tell you that. But some children, when the situation at home wasn't even, there's no room for that to happen at home. They, they get deeper and deeper and deeper. And there's a reason why we say psychotropic substances. At some point, their behavior will change. Their response to things, their relationship with you, relationship with others around them, their response generally to things will change. They could become aggressive, or completely withdrawn, or completely lose interest in even school and things. Even at those stages, even if it's at those stages that you still discover what's going on, please, I beg of you, still try to make the home, okay, this has happened. Do you like how you're feeling? Do you like how this? No, okay, we can get through this because I know this is not you. You need to boost that child's, those children's sense of self-worth again. You need to help them to know that they have you to come to in spite of whatever. If there are stories about things that have happened to you, that's about the time to share those stories. And then link such stories to why you would have discussed certain things in the past, mentioned certain things in the past, put certain things in your boundaries when you set your boundaries in your family. This is, see, remember when we discussed the when we were talking about what we should do, who should do what or who should not do? Yes, this is the reason as we put that there to say, please don't, or try not to. Okay, now, well, we're here. Okay, how do you feel? You still want to go back to those friends? I don't want to. Well, when I don't know, you don't know. Don't get mad because it's not all children that will say, no, I won't. least they accept me. They don't shout that confidence on you. It's not everyone that will feel happy with receiving such, feedback from their children. No, it's not everyone. But you've been exposed to this process, this program here, this information we're given here, responding with some heavy punitive wounds of it. You are just pushing that child back into the people would have started offering. When it gets to addiction, I'm sorry that guys find the right words. That's not the time to join issues. That's not the time to join issues. That's not the time to feel righteous. That's not the time to say, but then did you have you ever seen my grades? I sure does this look like what I presented to you? No. You might have scored done what during your time. Your time is not this time to start with. All of us have been there. If you're a parent, at some point or the other, you would have, why am I smiling or why am I laughing? When my children were getting to the point of, getting into high school, getting into the examination classes, I should do something. I'll go bring my high school result and say, look, this is what you have to beat. That in itself was a little bit intimidating, but it worked somehow. Well, it worked somehow. If you go to interview them now, they might have different things to say about that. But then now, I'm not telling you that that's the best. It put pressure on the children. It's not good. So forget, I might not tell you, I'm telling you it's not the best. But I did it. I'm saying I'm reporting myself on this program. I did it. It worked. It made them to work harder and but not all of them. It's not everybody that respond to certain kind of, information or task the same ways. Some people will just give up. I said that, at least somebody told me amongst them that, well, nobody can beat you. But I said, don't say that. What do you mean? I mean, nobody can beat you. That's why you're here. You're supposed to do better than. That's not good. I can tell you that it's not the best. It took me time to learn that myself. Okay, it's not the best. Don't your children, you wish, you pray that they are better than you. But let's not create a pressure that drive them away from you and into the hands of people that would introduce them to substances which they could become dependent, which is get addicted. It still bounce back on you. Okay, so it's better for you to feel the momentary pain and embarrassment that come. Oh, I did this. What? Not the sense of perfectionism. You see what I'm telling you? Look at you did what? You smoked what? He will not tell you when it goes beyond smoking cigarettes. There are substances you don't perceive any odor or any smell, but they cause more damage, more. Both alcohol and cigarettes, there are some you perceive what alcohol, odor, and say, did you take anything? Where did you get what's smelling in your mouth? You will notice you ask the same question any other way. Can I smell something? Am I smelling something? But you have to be available to even notice any smell, to perceive any smell, to pay attention. Okay? You are busy. Yeah, busy is good, but they are part of your business. Your children are should be part of your business. Okay? Now, we are going to pause. I'm going to pause. As always, we've produced a video where we've taken time to outline what the challenges are, what you could do to help in this particular issue of your children getting to start using substances, psychotropic substances, in this case, for the reason of feeling good and getting relaxed, stay trying to forget their pressures. It's temporary high. When you wake up, the problem is still there. Okay? Wake up, even adults, you take substances to feel relaxed, to feel good. When you wake up, the problem is still there to be taken care of. So you're better off having a clear head to look at the problem in the face and say, I'm going to take care of you here. Okay? That's the same way you should handle supporting, encouraging, mentoring your children, parenting your children when it comes to the issue of, I just want to really, when I take it, I just feel good, I just feel relaxed. No, this is not going to help you in the long run. So let's watch the video. When we return, we'll wrap up and then we take contributions from community members. We have quite some here that have already been sent in. Okay, we'll play back the video for you now. Thank you.
Dear parents, watch till the end to find out one of the main reasons your children and young people around you may engage in substance use and abuse. Many young people in a variety of geographical locations across the globe are not using substances because they want to be bad. They are simply overwhelmed. Between disrupted school calendars due to withheld examination results, strikes in educational institutions or the general population, insecurity, social media influences, and other daily struggles of life, their lives are full of uncertainty. Add peer pressure, cultism and gangsterism, teen pregnancies, and rising cases of various types of abuses, and you see why so many children and young people would be searching for escape routes to relieve themselves of pressures. Some routes which may lead them to use, and maybe addiction to psychotropic substances. Some children and young people, if unguarded, might believe that substances like alcohol, cigarettes, and other psychotropic drugs are shortcuts to relief. As Dr. Richie Adewusi writes in his book, The Sure Foundation, some young people feel that alcohol, cigarettes, and other hard drugs would bring relief, or make them forget their problems. This is an unhealthy way of dealing with stress, which even some adults engage in. Escape may look like comfort, but it comes at the cost of the health of the individuals who may become addicted to psychotropic substances, their education, other life pursuits, and dreams. Relief that might begin as quick fixes may ultimately quickly chain them to lasting damages from drug use habits. Here is how you can help your children resist the temptation to escape, and instead learn to face life with strength. 1. Become the person they can turn to. Young people need someone they can confide in, without fear of rejection or punishment. When you are that person, you replace their need for substances with the security of real support. This gives them the courage to face stress, rather than run from it. 2. Learn to recognize the warning signs. Changes in hygiene, constant mood swings, depression, or withdrawal may mean your children are overwhelmed. Catching these signals early allows you to intervene before they look for comfort in harmful substances. Early awareness leads to healing, not regret. 3. Teach healthy ways to manage stress. Sports, hobbies, music, or simply talking about challenges can become better outlets than substance use. When you guide your children toward constructive forms of relief, they discover strength and identity without depending on false highs. 4. Be honest about the damage of escape. Substance use may look harmless at first, but it erodes focus, destroys talent, and can derail an entire future. Real stories of wasted opportunities could show your children that the cost of escape into addictive substances is always too high. 5. Give consistent care and attention. Caring and attentive parents would make all the difference. Your steady presence tells them, you do not need substances to feel seen, accepted, or loved. Over time, this assurance becomes a shield against peer pressure and unhealthy coping. Your children and other young people around you do not need substances to escape. They need you. They need your time, your presence, and your ability to listen. If you can provide those, you give them something far more powerful than a temporary high. You give them hope, stability, and the confidence to face life head-on. Remember, escape is never the answer. Guidance is. Relief from stress does not come from bottles, smoke, or pills. It comes from love, understanding, and connection. When you are intentional about walking with your children and other young people around you through their pressures, they learn that even in their hardest times, they can find rest, peace, and resilience without leaning on destructive habits. The more you show up with care and wisdom, the less attractive false comfort becomes. Share this video with parents who need to learn these steps. Comment, like, follow, and subscribe to the Slow Parenting Podcast for more insightful parenting videos. Not just hacks, but heart.
Thank you guys on YouTube for still being here with remaining here with us. This is still the Slow Parenting Podcast on Nostalgia Media. My name is still Richie Adewusi. You've seen the video, and like we said, we've outlined therein, the things that could be wrong and what you could do, to try to assuage or correct or manage the situations that could arise that would have led your children to try to taste or use or try, psychotropic substances, including cigarettes and alcohol, okay, and alcoholic beverages generally, okay? So you need to know what to look out for, and when you do find any of those things we have said look out for, you need to know what you could do, to help your children and help yourself. Okay? If your children give you peace of mind, you will not be stressed yourself. You will not need to take any medication or go for any therapies for your own mental health. So having your children behave appropriately, behave in accordance with your family values and tradition, would give you some peace of mind yourself. And having peace of mind helps your own mental health. Then the cycle continues. So you are in the best shape mentally to help them, help yourself, keep bonding and keep attending to the challenges that will come in life. Life is about challenges. We're here. We are rational human beings to be able to attend to those challenges the best we could. The first port of call for your children in terms of dealing with challenges has to be you as their parents. And when we say parents, remember in this program, we use parents generically, and we're talking about biological parents and parents by trust. Like parents by trust, we're talking about teachers, Sunday school teachers or regular academic teachers or mentors generally, whether professional mentors or family mentors, some elders in the family. In the African setting, they say it takes a village to, train a child. Okay. So right now we're going to take a look at some, contribution from community members here. Thank you guys for joining on TikTok. Thank you. So please remember, just hit the like button, like the live so that we take it up. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So the first community member here says, what daily habits can help children prevent turning to substance? Daily habits. It doesn't have to be daily. You don't go to the playground every day. It's not compulsory to go to the playground every day. But the daily habit, the number one daily, activity that could help your children is your communication relationship with them. Constantly in the morning. Hi guys, okay, get ready for school, get ready for this, whatever things they have to do for that day. Engage. Ask questions, be available to get responses and give clarifications. It's that relationship would make some children not to want, they won't want to break it. They won't want to do, but then again, I just said a while earlier today on this particular podcast that they would have broken that relationship, they would have done something to break that relationship. They know it, you don't know it yet, could be one of the reasons to put them under pressure that could lead them, because the confusion, what did they do, how did they, or that they've got to start, somebody has offered them something they have taken and they knew they know they shouldn't, would be a reason for which that your communication relationship with them would be impacted. So you're being observant, you're remaining on top of your relationship with them. Communication will make you to notice that something is wrong, and then you interrogate, you engage, you ask questions. So your communication relationship with your children, for me, would be the number one activity that will help your children stay away, because you are there, you're clarifying, you're validating, you're high-fiving the good behaviors, the good responses when they come to tell you what would have happened between them and their friends out there in school or in the neighborhood. You're high-fiving the good one. The other one said, no, you don't want to be around such people. So you're there to clarify. That will be the number one, okay, activity. The next one here says, should parents monitor children's social media use to protect children for substance use triggers? There are some applications that do that for you. As a matter of, safeguards, protection, yeah? You could, if you've already introduced them to use of devices, phones, laptops, iPads, notebooks, or tablets, as the case may be, you should go the extra mile of putting parental lock for certain access, for access to certain websites. Yes, you should do that. That's not punitive in any way. Some countries have actually done that as a national policy. Okay? But at your level, if you live in a country that, don't worry, everybody's right. No. Train your children according. We say it here. Check any of our videos. Go to the channel. Check any of our. We will tell you, set boundaries. Agree on boundaries. Agree on consequences for overstepping those boundaries. Okay? Drugs should be part of what should be known for your own good, for their own good, for the good of the society. Okay? So monitor would not be, you already have application that can help you do the monitoring. But that doesn't also mean when you are in constant communication relationship with them, when you know who their friends are, when you attend some of their, we've advocated for all of those things in previous episodes and all of the previous videos. When you are at the top of all of those things, what are you monitoring? They will come to you to tell you what somebody has said that they know shouldn't happen. They will be the ones to turn off a TV channel if they mistakenly stumble or something just shows up. They will walk away or they will make a comment. They will come and tell you, come and see what they're showing. Yeah, you know that you've done something, you are doing something right. They will walk away. The whole idea is for you to prepare them with information and tools with which to behave appropriately, even without you being there. So when you are now talking about monitoring, you almost getting to be tempted to be a helicopter parent. You want to see everything they're doing. That in itself can pressure them into not wanting to be close to you. Okay? So you don't want to monitor, but you could use the applications and let them know, discuss it, let them know. This is why this is there, so that you don't, if you've already discussed appropriateness or inappropriateness of certain programs, and when you now buy them devices and you say, okay, you have social application on some of this, in the new device you have, you won't be able to say, Mommy, I know now, I know I shouldn't go there. I don't like this kind of program. They will tell you themselves. So you don't have anything to monitor. They will be the one to come to report to you, even if by error, by chance, somebody gets to send them some things, they will come to you. It only happens if you have a working two-way communication relationship with them. You are valuable. Your ears are, you are valuable for them to talk to and get feedback. Okay. Okay. Another person, another community member here is being best friends with your children is a sure way to make them feel safe around you. I'm going to say something now some parents will not like. You are not meant to be your children's best friend. No. Please, no. Be there for them. They are valuable for them, but they're not your friends. Can't be their friends. You're not friends because, again, friends don't like offending themselves now, even when they have to. Okay? But routinely, you are there to let your children know, no, this won't work. Friends don't tell themselves, no, this is not going to work. No. You are not a parent to be best friends with your children. No. You are there to be accessible, to be approachable. Okay? Yes, that's not the definition of best friends. Okay, that's not a definition of, you are a parent. There's a reason why there's the word parent, and there's a reason why there's the word friend. You are not, you didn't give back to your children to be best friends with them. No. Best friends quarrel. In that sense. There'll be occasions on maybe on a daily basis in certain environments, certain homes where you quarrel with your children in a different way, not they shout, the fight, do this, do that. Friends don't tell their friends you have to do this, that. Yes, friends also set boundaries to what could work in that friendship or not. It's not the same. So you are parents, be that to your children. It's enough to be parents. You are valuable, you are approachable. Okay? You listen to them, they listen to you. Yes, be their parents. Don't work at being best friends. God did not create you to be best friends with your children. No. He created you to be parents to your children. And that word parent means a whole lot. There'll be time you have to, friends don't discipline friends. And friend, you say, I don't like the way you talk to me. You can walk away. You can walk away from your family. You can walk away from, but some children do that, but then at what cost? Okay? You can walk away from your own children to start with, but we've said it here. It might sound strange to some people who hear me say this. Yes, you can walk away, but you can take your stand, like I keep saying, to protect your mental health. You can decide that we have had this agreement. You are cautioned, especially when they have become adults. And then you start hearing, I'm not a baby anymore. Okay, you feel you cannot take care of yourself. So fine. So I need to protect my mental health. Okay. So you've taken your decision, you live with your decision. All right. But in this case, we are talking about those children who are still dependent on you, that still, need to come home, need to touch base with you. Okay. It's not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be best friends with your children. That's not a pursuit. It's not a target. It's not something you should be targeting. When parents allow their children have access to substances and no longer have control over the children, how can this situation be managed? You shouldn't let that happen in the first place. If you use substances, we've said this several in this program, let your children know the struggles you're going through with trying to stop. If indeed you're trying to stop, and do try to stop if you get help. But the danger is your children of people who use substances, in most cases, start with their leftovers. Okay? So when it starts, when parents allow, it's okay, test it. When the children become dependent on that, you already have multiple problems in your hand. So you are looking for help. You also now have to spend money looking for help for them. So the first thing is prevention. They say prevention is better than cure. Okay? Don't let your children, try not to encourage your children to start using psychotropic substances. Even if you are a user, let them know your struggles. Don't hide it. Okay? As warnings about addiction sometimes, no, it says, are warnings about addiction sometimes exaggerated, making children curious instead of warnings the warnings about addiction can never be exaggerated. The issues in addiction are real. They are real. Dependency is a real thing. Have you ever been thirsty for water? I mean, it's not that you have water there, you could take it anytime. You are thirsty. And you are fainting. You need that water. It's like if you don't take it, you are going to die. That's the closest thing I can use to describe addiction to you. They want a fix. They just so we'll come to that in another episode about, consequences of addiction. Maybe as we round up this particular series on why your children might take psychotropic substances. Each substance has a different, repercussion, if you like, effect. They don't present with the same effect, but some effects are cut across all of them. One major effect is you will change. So psychotropic substances will take substances that you become dependent on. What does dependency mean? It means you are no longer in control, that you are dependent on that thing or that person, that place. Somebody who is dependent on life-saving equipment, what does that mean? If they remove that tube, that person will die. Before passing away, that person will go through some. So somebody who is dependent on a substance will go through, even with there's something that's called withdrawal symptoms. We'll come to that. It's not funny. So there's nothing that's, there's no warning about addiction that's exaggerated. It's real. Let your children do that. And like we said on this program, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are many videos about the outcome of sex. Go online, search, get those videos to say, this is a result of taking hemp. This is a result of taking fentanyl. See how they watch, they say, wow, ma'am, okay, well, you can see. This is why anybody taking this is headed. That's not exaggeration. Okay? That's not exaggeration. So how time flies. Okay, we are grateful for this time we spent here, today and on the Slow Parenting podcast and Nostalgia Media on YouTube. Uh, Please, we keep appealing. Help us help this program grow. If you find it useful, kindly subscribe. Okay, share the stream, share the video with your friends. Comment, send us your feedbacks, your questions, you know, your perspective on the issues we've discussed, and we'll respond. Okay, engage. That's the important thing. This is to help us help our children, help our parents. It's not. You might say, "Oh, this doesn't concern me." I pray it doesn't concern you directly, but it concerns all of us in a generic sense. We're all members of one human um, family. You hear every day, you read every day, you see every day results of drug addiction, drug trafficking, drug trade. What are the reasons? What's driving that trade? What's driving that, well, illicit business? What we discussed today is part of what fuels, what sustained that area of endeavor for some people, because you have a market. Part of that market is because young people, and of course, when young people start taking substances, it means that the supply base or the clientele base of that particular substance is replenished at a young age. A 12-year, 13, 15, 18-year-old that start taking cigarette, that start taking alcohol, that's a long way. They are the big tobacco companies, big alcoholic beverage companies have just recruited a new client. Stay there, it's life most times. Okay? So you're standing up and saying your children will not become part of the new clientele for that industry would help the larger society. So it concerns you, even if they have not started, they are not afraid they are not going to start, but then it reduces the population that get there. And what you say to your children that would make them to resist could be what will help them to have somebody else, their friends, their colleagues, their partners, eventually as they grow beyond your daily, interactions, start their own relationships, start their own families, they'll be able to also stand their own ground in society and also be able to encourage, admonish other people in their spheres of influence about, oh, no, this is not going to help you. Okay, so that's it for our show for today. Thank you so very much for joining us on YouTube. For our friends on TikTok, oh, hang tight, don't go away, don't go away. Thank you for taking the likes. Wow, it's going to be on 3K. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, don't go away. We will end on YouTube and we'll come over and we'll look at those questions that have been raised and so we could take them. Okay, thank you so much. So for YouTube, thank you so much. We are going to be ending the stream here. Please, once again, we are appealing, kindly just subscribe. If you have already, thank you so very much. If you haven't, please do subscribe and please do invite your friends and family to subscribe to this program. It's a family program. It's something that concerns all of us. Parenting is a universal issue. It doesn't know culture, doesn't know tradition, has no geographical boundaries. Parenting is parenting. There are cultural issues involved, but parenting remains parenting. So thank you so very much. Until we'll come your way again next on the next one, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 7 p.m. West Africa time, including Nigeria. Thank you for making it happen for us as you subscribe, as you engage, as you follow, as you like and share, as you share this video. See you again. My name is Richie Adeusi. Bye-bye.